everyone. How
Good
you all
start.
doing? Good.
I am rapidly caffeinating.
Same as usual then.
So last time we left off, um, taverns, snow, boats, freakouts. That roughly sums it up.
Getting very drunk.
Lots of drunk, lots of vomiting, lots of alchemist kindness. Honestly, sounds like a good Friday night. Which is convenient because it was actually Friday. Well, not the equivalent of Friday. So good. Your characters are all relaxed. And now it is time for the group to prepare for the next leg of the journey. A brisk actually, trip through the mountainside to get to the city. Well, I say city, the town of Berylton. Amar, have you told anyone what Berylton is like?
Istutha's been there before.
Oh yeah, because I had to teleport you there.
Yeah. Everyone else probably has some basic information. Like they know it's a town Elsgard where my family, lives. That it was rebuilt in recent years. And that it was originally a combination dwarven human mining settlement that grew due to the success. It's on a river and has some nearby woodland. The specifics of the town, I don't remember anyone ever asking. So probably nothing more specific than that.
A rather large caravan group begins to set out then. Now, conveniently, you don't need to trek on foot. Turns out Valvis does have a rather large wagon. So, conveniently, it's quite an easy trip. Though you get the sense that he mostly got a wagon, so now he can just take the excuse to drink while he's riding back.
He's drinking and driving. Arrest him.
He's not driving.
Oh, okay.
He really thought he would drive himself.
Maybe he likes to drift, I don't know.
No, mostly just my father and my uncle. But they're both incredibly resistant, so they need to drink this much just to feel anything, I assure you.
That is depressing as fuck. I'm going back to Lily's cart, goodbye.
Lily's cart, of course, is following in the background, yes. But
I forgot we had it.
You see a weird amount of smoke rising up out of it. It's kind of weird greenish smoke.
Istith is delighting in the fact that she can turn into birds for a day, so she's just kind of constantly flitting between the carts, just kind of in bird form and turning back into a person.
Doing alchemy in her own cart as you're riding on the road.
Is this a good idea? It's kind of, I guess it isn't terribly bumpy.
I mean, it's a bit bumpy, but she manages. Just crafting slower than usual.
Istith will offer some aid then.
It appears that she's making some more alchemist kindness.
That's probably wise. In fairness, that's like a gold piece cost. You could craft that in like a very short amount of time.
Well, she's crafting as many as she can do on the road trip. Because frankly, it seems like a useful thing to have. In worst case, you sell them.
Sure.
Trust me, there's no shortage of them on the road. People needing them.
How much could I craft it?
Well, as it stands, it's a rather peaceful trip. It's clear skies. It's chilly, but it's not snowing. It's not heavily cold. The cold weather outfits are certainly nice. You're not feeling the chill, but I mean, most of you could probably go without the cold weather outfit still and be fine. You just be a little bit uncomfortable. And with all Karos' fur, she'd probably just be fine regardless.
She has a cold weather outfit anyway, but yeah, her fur does a good job.
You get to be warm instead of mildly chilly.
Yeah. Suck it, you guys.
I have endurance. You can suck it.
I don't need magic to be awesome. Suck it.
I'm not magic.
It basically is.
Alright, fuckers. Alright, fuckers. How about the three of us go up to the top of the mountain where it is currently frozen, strip down, and see who lasts the longest. Let's go.
Okay. Maya, I literally fly really, really high in the sky all the time.
I mean, sure.
Yeah,
see you
but
up
you're
there.
from nice, temperate Ellenwind.
I'm from there. I've traveled A lot. I have spent a good long amount of time up here. Admittedly, it's not really been in the deep mountains because most things don't live there whenever you're hunting.
Going to kindly request that you don't do that yet. Wait until we have somewhere very, like, I don't know, throw you into bed after you die afterwards.
Okay.
Miles at the base of the mountain anyway. You want to climb up there? Feel free.
There are some nice trails actually up the mountain.
Cool. Probably actually not wise for me to try and fly up there because I know there's too many big birds around here.
On our mountain?
Well, in general up north, right? There's a
Right.
decent number of those.
Yes, any random mountain, I suppose so. But our mountain, there really aren't that many large beasts to worry about. Most of them have been hunted down.
We've got some new things moving.
Oh, really?
Torin's looking forward to dealing with them.
Oh, of course.
Trolls. Not a lot of them, but there's a couple on the far end of the mountain.
Father never did like trolls, did he?
I presume that's why he's packing all the heat.
Knowing father, probably also packing a lot of acid as well, just in case. He never did like to shut up about that time he fought a burning troll that was immune to fire.
And we didn't run into that one whenever we went troll hunting.
I mean, we did run into several that were resistant to fire.
Right, we did. Huh.
Oh yes, that was quite some time ago, wasn't it?
Like what? A little under a year, almost.
Wow, yeah. We've kind of been dealing with a lot of big things since then.
We've been crying a lot.
I mean, kind of.
Trips along the mountain roads are relatively peaceful. As it turns out, very little wants to deal with an armed group of about 16 individuals who look heavily armed. Just doesn't seem worth it.
Quick, everyone put away your arms so that we can fight them.
But they're attached to me.
Just like, do that thing where like you pull your arms inside your shirt, but like leave the sleeves there. Fill them.
Yeah,
Kind of falling
I'll just go full on Black Knight.
Unfortunately, I don't think any of the enemies are going to believe though, that you actually have 16 quadriplegics riding on the road at once.
Paraplegics, we only talked about the arms.
Or Oleg, baby.
The road, it's for the most part seems fairly uneventful for the first day or so of travel.
Cool. In the first night, Amaya is going to go up to Kellerus and go, "Can we talk?"
What now?
Amaya kind of just gestures away from the camp. "Can we talk?"
Okay.
And Amaya's gonna lead Kellerus a short distance away from the camp, basically just out of earshot, and sigh and go, "I need to ask something."
She just stands there looking.
Do you still consider yourself a part of your Silver Fangs?
I will always consider myself a part of them.
Then,
Just
when
like
the
you would
time
always
comes,
consider yourself part of your family.
then I am afraid I will not be able to allow you to enter my family's home.
To be honest, I wasn't planning to. I don't. I trust you now. I accept your uncle and your father. I don't know, and I haven't heard anything about the rest of them. I wouldn't want to go near them.
Well, there's a lovely tavern on the west part of town, over by the river. I hear a lot of good things about it. Tell them I sent you, and you might have a discount.
Right.
That is about the best I can do for you.
Right. Anything else?
Not particularly.
And she turns and walks back to the camp.
Zamaya is going to walk back as well.
Like
Seeing
out,
people playing cards around the campfire.
out of character, Calvis was never intending on staying on the estate. Like, best case, she'd make camp on the edge of it. She had no intention of actually going in there. At least, especially not sleeping in there.
Yeah, but I mean, this is unfortunately obligatory for Amaya. She trusts you,
Mm-hmm.
but like, it's not her home, it's her family's home. And rules of the family, do not bring an active enemy in unless you want them dead. But Amaya's going to also go up to Valthus.
You can get up to him if you would like. He's currently sharpening one of his large weapons.
Lord Uncle, do you remember the Felhadar family? The giant slayers?
He kind of looks to you, confused for a brief moment.
Did you know
Giants?
that
Which ones?
Did you know that little Nathan over there is actually a member of their family?
That runt.
Hey. Nathan, would you come over here for a moment?
Will do so. Slowly making his way over, cloak around him against the nighttime chill. What is it?
I was just telling my uncle about how you were from the Felhadar family. And
As
despite his stature and demeanor, I can personally attest to his bravery when it counts.
now to there being a rather shy Nathan and a rather curious Valvus, poking, prodding, asking questions, being slightly too forceful when giving too big of a drink.
Meanwhile, Amaya's just kind of sitting there trying to like reassure Nathan that he has plenty to be proud of. I mean, after all, Nathan is at this point a seasoned adventurer despite his age.
He doesn't think of himself as one, though. But, as you say, it's nonetheless true. With that, though, the group can continue traveling once again. The night goes on, and the day goes past. And again, nothing really interesting happens. Now, let's say... Caroline, can you please give me a d20?
Sadler?
Then
Sorry, what?
Can you give
Roll
me a
d20.
d20?
I can. Sorry, I forgot to take my med today, and so I'm waiting for it to kick in. Very generic 10.
Middle of the road. How unlike you.
Your third day of travel remains, again, fairly uninteresting. Though with one added thing in the evening, however, as the sky tonight seems rather ablaze with bright, beautiful lights, an aurora.
Ooh.
Academy motives the sky.
sure is a light.
Yep. Actually, that was for something else. Just internally. Does Kelvers have sense bluff? I don't remember.
She does, yes. Would you like me to roll it?
I would like that, thank you. Huh. Okay.
Huh.
All right.
Attackers generally win.
Do ninjas get any bonuses to bluff? I don't think they do.
Maybe does your archetype maybe?
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
You got to intimidate and something.
Yeah,
sense
intimidate
motive.
and sense motive.
Also, Cadmy, you're the fucking two. What the hell?
I know.
Yeah. I rolled an 11. I hate you.
It's Cadme.
It is very Cadme.
Doesn't make it any less painful.
There's two things I would like to do. First,
Yeah.
this night. Hi, Kelvers.
Hello.
Hey, you've been on edge for a very long time.
I was fine on the island. I enjoyed it there.
But we're not on the island anymore, are we?
No, but it's not exactly been a long time. It's not even really been a week.
No, I suppose. But why is that? Here, let me do this. Academy makes a quick little hand gesture, and those little fey motes of light sort of appear in the corner of your eyes as Academy makes a sort of surface thought connection. So you can just sort of talk in your brain to Academy.
We'll take advantage of this, I guess. It's just a case of I've known this trip has been coming for a while, going to see Amaya's people. I just haven't been looking forward to it.
Why is that?
You know of me. You know, I trained for years to kill her kind. Thought that they were bad, the enemy, etc., etc., etc. Now, I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I don't trust them and I don't trust myself if I'm around so many of them.
Now, is that off of the advice of your friends and family at the Silver Fangs, or is that personal experience?
Mostly from what I have been trained.
Okay. I can't ask you to be. I'm just a bit worried for you, is all. I know you're concerned, but think of it this way. Your friends of the Silver Fang family have trained you well. If there is ever a problem, you'll know how to deal with it. If there isn't a problem, you wouldn't need to worry.
Dealing with it would involve trying to fight her entire family by myself. That's
But you
not...
said you can trust her family.
I can trust her. I trust her immediate family, her father, her uncle. I don't trust all the others they have brought in just because they seem to be trying to do better for themselves.
And I'm sure the family of warriors will completely understand if you are attacked. As long as you don't go murdering all of them, if they attack you first, you
They will
have
look
the right to defend yourself.
They will look after their own first.
I don't think that is true, Calrus.
I do.
They know well enough that this is a curse, and they're trying their best to manage it. If one of them attacks you, you have the right to defend yourself. All I'm
And
saying
if
is
one of
that
them attacks me, I defend myself, then they go crying to the others about how I attacked first. Whose side do you think they're going to take? Their own or the werewolf hunter?
all I'm saying, Calrus, is being on edge like that does not put anyone else at ease.
Which is why I'm not going to be there.
That's okay.
I want this to go well for Amaya's sake. That's why I'm removing myself from the equation.
Do you need anybody with you? I don't want you to be out there alone.
I'll be fine. Not my first time checking up in a tavern while you guys do things.
Well, that's both comforting and saddening.
I'll be fine. Just check up occasionally to make sure I've not been assassinated in my sleep.
I can do that. And just if you, I can't say that for Maya. I know how she is. Thank you for having this talk, Gilris.
Odds to Cadme.
Second thing I want to do is there's an aurora in the sky. Oh, wait. I was looking at occult skills, and that it doesn't do what I thought it does. Never mind. Carry on.
Okay.
That's why
It's
Caddy said it was sad.
The night goes on under the beautiful lights above. Doesn't really change much for most of you. It's nice. Enter day 4, your final day of travel. You made quite good speed, but then again, Valphus knows his terrain very well, and you're moving on a rather fast car on a road. So, it helps. As the wagon rolls down the road, past the twists and turns that descends through the mountainside, small little valley, up above, you can see a couple of wooden bridges built across the valley side, as if people have had to move up the ledges up there, and frequently.
Okay, the last time we came for a place like this, we managed to cause an avalanche, so this time let's not do that.
I'll try not to. Sorry about that, by the way.
As long as nobody causes any explosions or yells supernaturally loud, it should be fine.
Your uncle looks back at you for a moment.
Yes, I'm looking at you, Uncle.
Well, this won't give you a look like, you know he could.
And Maya has a look of, please don't.
Don't try running an avalanche at the start of the day.
Like, not to be like the last time we almost got sucked into the saddle plane and had our essences drained, but the last time that happened, that happened.
Well, yeah, you head on through. And Maya,
Mm-hmm.
at least starts pulling at the side of your cloak.
Amaya will just start following. Just go, what is it? Where do we need to go?
Kind of runs over to the side of one of the crevices, part of the crevice, and starts kind of trying to reach into like this little alcove in the rock.
Maya's just gonna slip on a gauntlet and reach in there.
You feel something solid, maybe metal.
Gonna go ahead and try and pull that out.
You draw it out. You're not sure what it is. You look at it. Huh. It's like a piston from something.
A metal piston?
Yes. There's nothing in the town that's advanced enough that kind of steam tech or anything to use that.
Lord Uncle? Found something you'll want to see.
Wait, there's a cart over there. Stop the cart. Throw himself over the side. What is it?
Maya comes over and shows a piece of machinery. Has the Dwarven district been making new machines? I haven't
Have you
seen
picked the
them
rail
make
cart?
anything.
That's it for them.
Then this is foreign.
Whatever it is.
It's part of an advanced machine.
Maybe one of the traders dropped it.
And Maya shakes her head. This is supposed to be a part of something much bigger. A large metal moving machine.
While they're talking, Cadmy's gonna basically hear that and flap a few times and sort of perch up on a nearby tree and sort of look around the horizon for something. Because she remembers big floaty boat things that kind of have those brass parts, and maybe one of those fell.
You look around. Make a perception check.
I'm going to use burst of insight to add a +4 to that.
+8, isn't it?
It's a +8 to the ability score, so a +4 for the skill.
Mm-hmm.
I stand correct.
I know my abilities.
Everyone makes that mistake with that ability, so.
I see big number and I go woo.
You do not see the remnants of an airship anywhere within range. You don't see the wreckage of anything in range either, for that matter.
It's under the mountain.
All you see at most is a couple of marks where pickaxes maybe have hit the side of the mountain, but nothing more. Or pickaxes and climbing gear. But that's all over the place, so.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I'll stay up there, looking around more. I rolled a nat 1, so Academy's going to stay up there and look around and not see shit. Continue.
Everything that can be seen below a DC 29.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to do anything?
I mean, does Amaya, like, go, hey guys,
Yeah,
East on-
basically.
Can I see it?
Yes.
Could an appraise check tell us anything about it, aside from, this amount of brass is worth that gold?
Possibly.
Think
Yeah.
so.
Might tell us if it's
Okay.
like a weird material or something.
I would ask with the knowledge. Hot damn. Good
Oops.
start. A 1 and a 20.
Oops.
Would the knowledge engineering also tell us something?
It could. Curious.
Assigned.
You. Now, admittedly, tech is not your kind of thing. That said, you've seen a lot of it, especially of late when it comes to your gauntlets.
Yes.
Moreover, you're used to pawning off spare bits of metal on the black market. It happens.
Yeah, I pick up some odd trinket, need to fence it off.
Now, the first thing you would know is that's not generic brass or generic copper or generic other brown metal. You're looking at it, it's too thin. There's no way you could make the part out of that and it be viable. And actually, assuming you're allowed to Kara's allowed to hold it, judging by the weight, Kara's might half in. It's actually possibly even a bronze mithril alloy.
Whew. Yeah, she sort of takes it and her arm immediately goes up because she was expecting it to be heavy, so she put too much force into it. It's like, full. Okay.
It's not even that large of a device either, admittedly. It's it
Yeah.
fits in your hand. It will fit in your hand, though it takes up most of your hand.
Yeah.
But it's not heavy as you expected, though.
It's like, that's... Do you know, the whole thought of it might come off of flying things? Not that far-fetched. They've... At a guess, I'd say they've probably mixed it with mithril or some other really light metal, made an alloy out of it. Because that is... She's sort of tossing it up and down in her hand. That is way lighter than any sort of bronze would be. Stronger too. There'd never be that thin and actually not snap otherwise.
Amaya and Astufa.
Oh, the free.
The two of you look at the strange piston. Well, it's... You're not sure what exactly the purpose of it... You don't know exactly what it came from. That's impossible for you to divine, but... I mean, you can definitely agree with Carol's conclusions, especially when it comes to strength. But just looking at how the metal has been kind of worked, this is really well done. Really well done. There's not one little kind of mark out of place. Very professionally cut. Very symmetrical. Someone spent very hard work with it, and actually, to both your eyes, there's something unusual about it. In both your minds, though Maya's probably the one who actually comes up with the actual comes to realization first. It is magical. You're not sure if the runes are on the inside of it. Might be. Maya, you think it might actually be part, or was part, of some kind of golem?
Oh, that's terrifying. So yeah, gonna share that with the group.
I mean,
It's not any of.
mechanical golems aren't unheard of.
We've even seen that weird place where the troll was. That
Yeah.
used to be elven lands, which means it used to be dwarven lands. There's potentially a bunch of secret places under our feet that hold constructs. The weird thing is, it is up here.
I mean, there could be similar ruins underground up here.
Fair. Ooh. No, never mind.
Amaya, can you give me a history check?
I don't think that I can. It's untrained and not a class skill.
I still think you can give me a history check.
Can I aid? Is that a no?
You can.
Oh, okay. In which case, auto aid have guidance.
Yeah, Amaya can do this untrained, just she can't take 10 in this case.
I believe Coral can also auto aid, so I have a +5.
Cool. I need every bit of this I can get.
Womp womp.
Amaya,
Yep.
you only know this from living in this area and mostly the dwarves who live in Berylton. But they did always say that you've always heard them talk a little bit about the fact that, once the dwarves did have territory up here in the Cold North, true territory of their own. I mean, there are still places in the Cold North where the dwarves do have actual territory. Just it's considered to be Elgin's territory, nonetheless. But there were more dwarves up here at one point. The ruins theory isn't impossible.
Amaya kind of just crosses her arms and looks to the rest of the group. Does anyone have a large amount of paint?
Yes! Cuddy says,
All
running
right.
over.
your magic paintbrush.
Uh-huh.
And how long does it last?
Yes, forever, as far as I can tell.
Excellent. I need to mark
It's not
this. I need
actually
to mark this
paint.
location. It doesn't matter. A bright color will do. I'm just going to Hestia, Lord Uncle, Ryder, Rain. Would you all help me build a cairn here?
Most of them seem perplexed, but your Lord Uncle is immediately already grabbing giant rocks.
Aspen is attempting to lift a bigger rock.
Strength contest.
Aspen will not win at picking up a bigger rock unless it's anthaul.
He doesn't immediately, but Caddy glances over and gives him Antall.
He might be picking up a comparable amount now.
Yay!
I mean, they build an oversized cairn for you.
Yeah. Once the cairn is built, Amaya's going to with Cad. Like, she's just going to let Cadme paint it bright colors.
Yay! And that's exactly what she does.
It looks wonderfully like the painting done by a third grader.
And you know what? That's fine. This has now been marked. We can now actually send an excavation team to this place.
Does Academy do anything in particular?
No. She's more inspired by the way they stack the rocks, and so she kind of gives this stack a little bit of a personality. Like,
I've got like a frowny face at them.
yeah, it's a bit lopsided in some ways, and the rocks didn't quite stack up straight, so it's kind of crooked. So she kind of gives him a little arm on the side that has a little like, oh, he's holding his back or something like that.
An absolute masterpiece. Okay, comments from it. Well, that's I presume one of you will keep hold of the piston piece, but you can keep moving. And it's not much longer. You get to have lunch out in the wilderness, but after not much longer, eventually the group will arrive in the cold mining town of Berylton. Also, these two are getting banished.
Man, this place has seen better days. Carts turned over and everything.
All the carts turned over. I didn't.
Yeah, just cover it up with our tokens. It's fine. Everything's fine.
No, the carts are turned over not from Bandit Raid, but from the rest of my family.
We all just immediately run over to the cart and stand in front of it. It's like, no, nothing to see here.
Feel it.
But entering into Berylton, it is a sizable small town. There's some watchtowers out on the edge of it. Palisade walls.
One thing people will probably see upon entering Berylton is like some charred remains of what used to be an even larger town. Like, this place used to be bigger.
Many buildings laid out over the place, and as Jesse said, the charred remains of the much older town on the far side. The town has a nice river dividing it, as it sits at the base of a very tall mountain that you can clearly tell has been mined into extensively. You can see like the wooden lifts used to raise things up and down in and out of the mine. Partly powered by water wheel, partly powered by dwarf power. Whatever the situation demands.
Yeah, sometimes we employ an oryx.
Various people are going around enjoying their lives. A few people tending to the livestock. A few farmers on the edge of the town dealing with what crops can grow in this frozen soil. A few hunters who will return from a trip. A couple of adolescents up on one of the thatched roofs just kind of staring down at the town. But it seems lively enough. There are people around getting about their business, enjoying themselves, making the best of the cold climate. Frequent braziers and torches are lit, providing a bit of heat and warmth, especially at the entranceways, warding away the snow. A surprising number of people in the town are armed, interestingly. Though not everyone, just a surprising number. Though perhaps that's just surprising for those of you who are not used to living in the north.
And cold here.
Immediately upon returning, the cart is brought over to an area to be stabled up, and the goods to be unloaded that were picked up. Your group is all brought off the cart, and very quickly, Amaya finds herself with an arm wrapped around her shoulder.
From who?
From Valves. Well, we'd better get inside.
Hey, that's true.
Come on, you lot. As he kind of starts going off, dragging Amaya, and then, letting the rest of you follow.
Is your house up the mountain?
No,
No.
no.
As
Wasted opportunity.
Up a
Valves
small hill, but not a mountain.
Yeah, Valves ends up pointing his sword to the hill on the far side of town where you can see 3 large buildings set up.
Where's that tavern you promised me?
Over there on the west side.
Karis splits off and heads that way.
Walking through the town, you're dragged towards the Valiant Longhouse, and it doesn't take too long. There is definitely some attention, though, from a couple of people who greet Amaya in various and rather formal in some people ways. There's a definite respect for Amaya here, as well as the rest of her family. But first, I will go to Karis.
Oh dear. That's a bad sign.
You're heading to the local tavern.
The one Amaya mentioned, yeah.
Known as the Barrelton, the local tavern is a nice place. It's actually, as far as taverns go, really nice, surprisingly, for such a small place. Though that just might be due to, well, the cash flow that comes from having an adventuring family run the town. That they're able to make it such a nice establishment. Stepping inside is such a nice change from the outside. I just suddenly hit with this huge wave of warmth. So much so that you could take off your jacket and be happy in here. Just absolutely happy.
She could, but she doesn't. She does lower the hood, however.
No one pays you a mind as the catfolk steps inside. As you look around, there are quite a lot of dwarves on one side of the tavern all drinking. Several humans. A couple of halflings. A tiefling.
Initially, she'll not pay them too much attention. She's just going to head basically straight up to the bar, catch the person's attention, and is like, "Hey, need a room for a few days. Amaya said you could probably hook me up."
Karis, right?
Yes, immediately suspicious. Yes.
Room's already been paid for.
Rounds. How and who?
One of the other Ralliots paid for it.
Probably Luna.
Which one?
I prefer I didn't mention it. The bar lady kind of looks away from you for a brief moment, hoping you'll just drop it.
She's just frowning at the bar lady.
Make a diplomacy or intimidate check, your choice.
I mean, she's not trying to scare the person, but she is in quite a bad mood.
So annoyed diplomacy is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that'd be fair. It's annoying because my intimidate's the high of skill and I never actually use it, but yeah, it's probably an annoyed diplomacy. 17.
Lady Luna Ralliot. Prepaid for this. Something about you unable to stay in the house.
It lets out an almost annoyed sigh. Like, fine. At least it wasn't one of the other ones. Which room is it?
She paid for the executive room. Back there behind the curtain on the right.
She nods, and assumably she'll pick up a key for it.
Yep, you'll be given a key for it.
Now, time to get drunk. Because this is the sort of situation she gets drunk in. And oh look, there's a group of dwarves over there. They're fun to get drunk with.
The dwarves are happy to bring you in.
She'll share tales with the dwarves and get very drunk.
They're currently playing a game of Blackrock, a dwarven, I guess a dwarven tavern game involving a handful of rocks, and the punishment for doing badly is more drinking.
She's probably seen this being played before. Probably not played it too much herself, but she's seen it being played before, and she'll join in. You know, she might as well have some fun while she can.
It's a fairly simple game, and the result is everyone who takes part gets severely drunk.
Yes.
It's the kind of game that's so random that everyone does badly.
It's one of those games where there is no winner. Unless your goal is to just get shit-faced, there is no winner.
In which case, everyone wins.
Yeah.
The winner is the person who is the least drunk, perhaps.
Are they, though? Or are they the loser?
If you can walk straight enough to get home first, you win.
Perhaps they said the game has a single loser, which is the person who runs out of money first. Buy more drinks with. Regardless, you're able to definitely sit down and enjoy it. The dwarves are more than accompanying. Actually, everyone's quite accompanying.
It's an
Though
adventurous
then again,
tavern.
yeah, like the tiefling doesn't seem to be getting many looks either.
We've all seen worse shit than what is currently in this bar, so...
And you know what? It's warm, it's nicely decorated. You can smell nice hot food from the back.
Which you may have to partake in as well.
Honestly, Karis should be... Like, other than knowing what's on top, knowing who's living on top of the house on the hill, this place should feel like home to Karis in many ways.
Yeah. She would definitely be a hell of a lot more comfortable here than she would have been at the estate.
Which Luna realised.
See,
And
this
also-
is why
and
I
also-
recommended this place.
Yeah, also, like Amaya knew that having you inside the house is not a good idea.
I'm feeling so loved right now. No one wants me at their house.
Hey, she paid for the executive suite.
Hey, you can come to my house. I don't think anyone lives in it right now, so it's probably for the mold.
I don't have
Yeah.
a house.
Alternatively, you could live in the gypsy fortune telling cart.
No,
Yeah, if Adeline had a
that's
house,
almost as bad.
we're invited there.
You know, Lily's probably gonna get a decent amount of business here.
I paid 400 gold for that car. It's a good car.
Don't worry, she's going to make a lot of money very quickly.
It's not the cart that's the issue, J-Mac, it's everything else in there.
Fair. I mean, I did offer if you would. I guess you have executive suite. I can always give you a secure shelter.
I was severely considering turning down the executive suite and going for like some generic shitty room because Kalis is slightly paranoid at the same time.
It's already been paid for, so it's...
Yeah, but why? Why is she doing this? There must be an ulterior
Because
motive.
people are good people.
But these people aren't people.
Also,
Yes, they
Luna.
are.
Also, Luna's trust you. She's been on a mission with you.
Yeah.
Axe her in the back.
Yeah.
No.
Should have.
No.
But don't worry, the executive suite only costs 32 gold pieces a day.
Oh, is that it? Jeez. I could
It's only going
afford
to
that.
cost us several hundred gold for a week.
I could afford that for many days. Let's see. 32 per day. Yeah, I could afford it for 218 days.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to spend all your money on that.
I don't know. Perhaps I want to spend 2/3 of a year here.
Honestly, you totally can. Please note, that does mean that you also have you have a private bathroom and washroom.
That is a benefit. Definitely
Especially
a
given I
benefit.
doubt like using public facilities.
No, she does not.
Yeah. For the rest of the group, though, you are brought towards the Ralliot Longhouse.
Okay, everyone, buff quick.
Now, I would give a description of the Ralliot Longhouse, but I think it might be better if you, Torin, give a description of the Ralliot Longhouse, of what you think it would look like on the outside.
It probably looks a lot like, you know, what you would expect just a sort of large, like kind of elongated house would look like. It's not particularly tall. Well, two of the buildings aren't tall. There is a tall building, but that's not the one you're brought to. That one's Valthis's. But it really does look more like just an enlarged house, but there are some distinctions that set it apart even further, such as various flags of the, or sort of there's banners. That's the word I'm looking for. Banners of the Ralliot family emblem, as well as you can see, upon, slightly further inspection, there is definitely some reinforcement to the building, like as if there's an expectation that this building is going to accrue damage. In fact, on one of the walls, it probably looks like there was used some slightly different or perhaps just slightly newer wood put in to where there might have previously been a hole put there. But I suppose notably entering the estate itself, there'd probably be like, a large um gated sort of wooden fence with like iron fittings at the top of the poles as a kind of defensive looking structure. But as you cross through the gate and start getting onto the estate grounds, you'll start noticing wolves kind of coming out of like the snow and behind the trees and watching everyone. It is quite likely that a couple of wolves will probably like come up and you know greet Amaya and Valthus as well. For what is noble grounds, it's not as ostentatious as imperial manor grounds and such, but you can definitely tell it is higher status than the normal buildings and ground in the area. There are gardens. There's a small, like, well, I say small. There is like basically a pond and a couple of like decorated trees and such. The braziers even look better quality and such. But at the same time, everything also looks very functional. It all looks good, but none of it looks completely frivolous or superfluous either.
I can see Istifa visibly straining from making a comment at the dogs or the wolves coming out of the woods and coming over to her.
Yeah, don't call them dogs.